I'll just start recording so I don't forget. But we'll, so my intentions for today, all my meditate and have all this peacefulness to prepare in time. And then my daughter is just like scream, cry, whining in my face all morning. And it's like, how freaking 2020 is that? Perfectly divine timing. And luckily we've learned that that's just how it goes sometimes, and it's okay. We make do, and we show up for ourselves anyway. I was able to get my shower, and then I'm like 1 minute into my shower, like doing my grounding, and I hear the door open. I forgot to lock it. I was like, but mommy, and I was like, but she luckily gave me some space, and we got through it, and I'm feeling good. And we can laugh about it now, but I cried about it then. I cried about it then for a minute. I needed it. Kind of what we're going to do here together, I think. Feel it, feel the emotions, do some reframes, some change of perspectives in the areas we need to, and lift ourselves up. And what I'm so excited about, just kind of how I work for those of you that know me, is I'm just going to hold the space and y'all are going to do the work for yourselves, which is kind of cool because now you'll be able to, it's so easy to come to this day like, oh my gosh, I got to think about everything and do the work and write stuff down and get intentions. And we're just going to do it here together and then check. So that feels kind of good and exciting. I'm on a new stand. It's a little bit wobbly, so we'll just go with it. All right. Well, if you're ready, I'm going to disconnect. I'm not seeing any more SOSs coming in. Disconnect from there. If you're ready and able, I invite you to get grounded and present with me. Grounded and present with yourself. I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable. Uncross your feet and legs and get them touching the ground if you're able. And if not, you can just use your mind's eyes to do a little bit of physical grounding with your feet. Your intention. Take a sip if you need to as we get ready. And I just ask that since we have very much learned in 2020 that we are sensitive empaths and we're impacted by others' energy and others are impacted by ours, that if you're not able to be here and be present, and if you're going to be distracted and moving around, to maybe come back to the replay. Just that everyone who's here is present and intentional with this time and your energy. All right, let's close our eyes and draw a deep breath in together. And a deep breath out. Another deep breath in. And out. As you continue breathing fully in and out, use your breath to cleanse your field. Taking yourself through a sort of energetic shower. The inhale filling you completely, cleansing all your parts energetically, and exhaling to release and let it go down the drain. Breathing in the divine light of energy through your crown, all the way through your body to the tips of your fingers and soles of your feet, cleansing that cleansing energy and exhaling it all out of your body, down the drain. Because together we call our spirits into our body as empaths and light workers. It's so normal for our spirit to be floating around outside, and we use this moment to call our spirit back in. I like to clench my fist a little bit or squeeze the top of my legs, saying, "This is my body. I am right here, right now." Now we ground our energy into Mother Earth. You want to push down on the soles of your feet slightly, feeling the weight of your body going into Mother Earth and breathing up that grounded energy through the soles of your feet. Feeling the gravity, the heaviness as she pulls you down and holds you down so that you can be here and present, protected. And now we call in the divine light of protection, seeing an energetic bubble of brilliant light swirling all around you, above, below, all around, forming a brilliant bubble of light, protective light around you, your aura, your space. Within this bubble, let's intend that we don't take on anyone else's energy nor give ours away. Within this bubble, we are in our full energetic potency. And we are in a deep collaboration as this light is divine. It comes from spirit. And we feel that protection, that energetic boundary all around us. And now feeling the weight, the grounded energy, feeling this divine bubble of light and protection around you. I invite you to be really present with your physical body as you intentionally relax the muscles of your face, soften the lines of your forehead between your eyes, relaxing your jaw. As you pull your shoulders back and lengthen your spine and drop your shoulders down, feeling your heart center expanding. Just really focus on that heart center. Feel the light that's within it, the light that comes from within you. Feel it shining out and filling the entire protected bubble that you're in with your beautiful light. And as the bubble fills with this warm, feel the lightness come over you. And although you are still grounded, you feel lighter and lighter, as if you could just float away. But there's still a cord connecting you to the earth, a root as you lift just a couple inches higher than the ground. You have that beautiful umbilical cord still attached to the Mother Earth, nourishing you, reminding you that you're here and present. An earthly being with this physical body, yet still filled with this spirit, this energy, this divine light, this spiritual protection all around. So often, as a beautiful empath, a light worker, you are using that heart energy and shining it out into the world, and it's such a beautiful thing. But just for this moment, you are filling your own bubble with your light. And now let's call upon our spiritual teams to be present with us, to hold the space, to whisper ideas and guidance, reminders of their love and presence and connection and direction. Call in our angels, our ancestors, our soul pets, any other magical or spiritual beings you would like to be present, holding space for you. And let yourself feel all the gratitude for this moment, for your team, for your own light. Continue to feel your gratitude growing as you feel that energy of Mother Earth, the protective bubble around you. You feel your spirit and your physical body, your mind, your heart, all here in full support of you in this moment. You are grounded, you are protected, you are held, loved, and connected. With a heart filled with love and gratitude, we take a breath in together. And on a deep exhale, we open the safe and sacred space. Thank you all for spending that time with me in breath and intention and tapping into our own energy. It's amazing feeling how powerful everyone in this group is. I mean, I could just feel every single person's heart space and how lucky is the world to have you in it, and how blessed are you to have that light for yourself. How blessed am I to witness it? I might cry a little bit. You all are so beautiful. You're so tender and compassionate and loving. And as we walk through 2020 for a moment together, I invite you to continue to tap into the energy that we set. If at any moment you need to remember the cord connecting you to Mother Earth, or that protective energy around you, call in your team, or place a hand on your heart, I invite you to just keep coming back to all those tools that we just tapped in together that you have accessible to you at any moment, at any time. So just to tap back in there anytime you need to. And I thought at this point, if everyone has a paper and a pen, we'll do some writing so that we can do an awesome year-end practice together. I personally like writing bullet point lists because it's so easy to get lost in the one point of it and go on and on. But if you can just get to the bullet point, the phrase or the sentence, and then you can get quantity going instead of focused on quality right now, it might be useful. And then at any point later, you can go back and look at your list and fill in more details. So something that I have learned and enjoy doing for a year end is just kind of travel through the year, starting at the beginning with do you remember your 2020 intention or your 2020 theme? We start back there, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, a year ago, remembering where you were. And how interesting how differently things look and worked out for all of us. And that's what's kind of cool too, and a reminder that whatever intention or theme you end up setting here today, there's no pressure. There's no pressure because it's going to change. It's going to evolve. Collective themes are going to come in. You're going to choose a theme, and then a bunch of themes are going to choose you to work on, as we know as well. And so there really is we don't need to put this pressure on ourselves to have our year figured out and have this awesome theme figured out. Your themes will find you. Don't you worry. It doesn't matter what you choose today. Just like it didn't matter what you chose a year ago, your themes and lessons came to you. So as you start your bullet list and you start in January, full of limitless possibilities like we are again today, and we kind of go through the year, taking a walk, and the bullet point is going to be the list of, it's going to be a long list. It's our lessons, our mistakes, our opportunity, because our mistakes are what? Opportunities to grow. There's lessons in all of them. Our heartaches, our grief. And as you go through this, all of us either lost loved ones, either people or animals, or we lost, or we grieve what we thought this year would look like. We all lost something, many things this year, whether it be people or how we thought it would look. And as you go through, I want to invite you, as we all know, I love the reframes and the mindset, but it's also really toxic to just reframe grief into, oh, it was this wonderful blessing and it was supposed to happen, and it's beautiful to honor it and feel the emotion, process it. And so maybe when you get to those moments, we can honor the emotion and give it a hug and recognize the heaviness, the weight in it, and just honor that. And then there's also going to be a bunch of mistakes we're going to see, and we can honor those too, because they were opportunities to learn and grow. And mistakes are good and important, and we're going to get more into mistakes later. And so let's just start going through and writing down. Also, any experiences you had, any celebrations, vacations, awards, wins, we'll just mark it down. We're just going to kind of do a timeline of our 2020. And so I invite you to just get started with that now. And I might keep talking, but y'all can just keep writing. Again, any challenges, opportunities for growth, mistakes, blessings, wins, losses. We're just looking at our 2020. All right, and if you want to start on the next list, we're going to make a list of our themes. The themes that we chose, the ones that chose us, the collective themes that you noticed. Themes within your family unit. Your social circles, work circles. If you want to type your themes in, feel free in the chat too. The theme I chose for 2020 was expansion, and that did not disappoint. And then, boundaries chose me again, just like 2019. And surrender and patience and clarity and connection and activism. And family. And as you look at your lists, what were the blessings in disguise? You're going to star or mark those separately. What unexpected blessings came your way from the challenges? And what were the lessons that you fought the most? Which ones were you kicking and screaming and not wanting to learn and saying, fucking 2020 sucks? Fuck this, because you did not want the lesson and you fought it. What lesson is that? I want to pull, I have a couple cards that I brought that kept coming up in all my readings. And so some of you that had readings from me have already heard this lately. And the first card I want to bring in today was the Mirror Guardian. And I posted this yesterday in our Lightworker Rising group. Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect, as this is what we're doing right now. A collective message to take time to reflect. And the reframe we see in this image is that now we're going to look at 2020 for a moment with a new list as our highest self looking down, our winged self, our self that is fully connected and aligned. And look at this emphasis on her third eye that's so intuitive, that sees the reframes, that just sees the blessings. And when she looks through the timeline, or he, when your highest self looks through the timeline, is looking through the lens of how strong and resilient and badass and amazing you are. It sees the helpers, it sees the ways that you've helped and how you've gotten more clear. Your highest self sees you as vulnerable and sensitive and also strong and resilient, and sees the strength in your sensitivity and your vulnerability. Through this lens, through this all intuitive, highest self, wise, knowing lens, you also look at the collective and what together we have learned and processed and gotten through. Big picture, changing perspective through the lens of alignment, highest self, gratitude. And maybe some of y'all were already looking through that lens, but it's nice to be very intentional with it for a moment. Yeah, so the throat chakra, blue in there, intuitiveness, wings that shine of labradorite. With healing, feeling, knowing hands. Through the lens of everything is happening just as it should, as it's meant to. Make sure you star your aha moments, your breakthroughs. I mean, 2020 certainly was a year of clarity, priorities, boundaries, slowing down, pointing out how vulnerable and sensitive we all are, and how connected we are, and how the actions and energy of one impacts others. And so, what that you learned do you want to take with you into 2021? What are the biggest things that you're like, okay, this is what I'm taking with me? Because it's so, we want to close the year and have this restart. And so we have that, but also that's a lot of pressure too, to just, okay, we want the clean slate, but also like, let's take some of it with us. What are we taking with us? What do you have now? What do you know now? How are you wiser? More connected? What are you taking with you? And I also want to talk about what we're leaving in 2020, but without all the pressure of it. And so I encourage you, when we talk about what we're leaving in 2020, instead of this whole to-do list of things to leave or change, how gently can you keep some things in 2020 or behind you or release them? One thing that I have learned in 2020 about releasing and leaving and about fresh starts is the idea of looking at projects or things on our energy leak list, our to-do list that aren't completed, and just closing it and putting it away and just taking it off the list. That feels good to me in some areas. What did you not do in 2020 that you thought you would do or that you didn't complete that you can let go of? That's another thing that we can let go of, the not doing, the not completing, the not showing up. And 2020 gave us the best pass, the excuse. Like we can just like pull the 2020 card and honor ourselves and our energy and our time and put that boundary. And I love that. I love that we have that forever now. So I hope no matter what happens in the world, you will continue to throw that boundary card out whenever you want it and pull a 2020 and just let it go and not do it. And we always had the intention of showing up the most magical and aligned and authentic and maybe even perfect. And it never turns out that way. So why do we keep holding ourselves to that standard? And 2020 just gave us this big, it's never going to turn out that way. It's always going to be curveballs. You cannot write your script completely because there's all these other factors that are going to come in place within you, in your physical body, around you. There's all these other players in our story. So that's the big thing I want to leave in 2020 is just the what I didn't do, the what wasn't completed, the could have done it better or more, all of that stuff that is just laced with shame. That's what I want to let go of. All that stuff laced with shame. And I've done that in my closet. There's nothing in my closet that's shaming me. That just is like looking at me like, I don't fit you, your style or your body. And kind of just doing that with my life, just moving out the things that are shaming me on my to-do list or what you haven't done. Like the classes you didn't finish, just take it off the to-do list. It's shaming you. It's just sitting there like, look what you didn't do. It's a big project and it's okay. Pull the 2020 card and just take it off the list. It's fine. So anything that's shaming you right now, I encourage you to leave in 2020. Because nothing aligned and good and authentic comes from the shame card. So the unfinished projects, the closet, the what doesn't fit your life anymore, anything shaming you or letting it go. Hopefully we all can, or at least releasing a couple layers of it. Because 2020 has taught us about taking care of ourselves and the importance of that, right? And how when we take care of ourselves, we're taking care of others too. And before that, we were always like, we need to take care of ourselves so we can take care of other people. But now we're really learning that taking care of ourselves does take care of other people. And so we want to keep taking that on, and letting go of the shame is taking care of yourself in the most amazing way. So one last thing of 2020 before we keep going on is, how did you most surprise yourself this year? How did you light yourself up and surprise yourself this year? Let's highlight that. What are you proud of yourself for? What are you proud of yourself for just fucking letting go right now? Who else surprised you this year in a good way? Who showed up? What did you witness in the collective or in others that surprised you and lit you up? People in your life. Who else was resilient besides you? Who else was strong and moved through challenges and gracefully made mistakes or fell really fucking hard but still got back up? Who surprised you? Who is resilient? Who is strong? Send them a little bit of love. One last reframe, in case you didn't do it already, as we reframe and we look at anything that we've been a little down on ourselves about in 2020. And is there a way that you can reframe it? And a lot of times it might be that you were self-soothing. Did you watch a lot of freaking TV? Did you gain some weight, right? And then the weight gained that helped you ground. What did it represent? How are you self-soothing? And how can we reframe that? And also, what did we lose? What did you shed? Those are the big things that I really like to highlight. What did I gain? What did I shed? How am I proud of myself? And if there was 1 to 3 themes that represented your 2020, what are they? It doesn't matter what you chose, what were your 1 to 3 themes. And feel free to type it in if you want to share and be witnessed in it. Your major themes. And as you look at your themes, so all this work we did, now we're just bubbling it down to these themes. So you can keep the list that you made forever. You can burn it if you want to and release it. But the themes is what we take with us. That's like from the vegetarian, that's the meat of it. Beautiful. And how can we right now shine the light of gratitude on our themes? Even the hard ones. How can we love ourselves? As you look at your themes through the lens of compassion, curiosity, gentleness, love, and gratitude. No matter how heavy or light the theme is filled with lessons, filled with opportunities for love, gentleness, and compassion, filled with reminders of your strength and resilience. All right. And now, let's shed it. Let's shed our theme so we can make some room for the new ones, just like this card, the snake, and shed the skin. And it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It doesn't mean that that skin that we're shedding and kind of letting burn doesn't nourish our core and our center and help us go into what's next in our new skin, stronger and more clear, more powerful, more tender, more understanding and compassionate and empathetic. But let's shed the theme so we can make room for the next ones. like the snake, we shed, we shed, we shed. It's what I am getting the message from, and I've shared a little bit with some of you, with this idea of the shedding and the snake and the growth, is when I look back on my life and maybe a lot of us in the collective, we see that we keep just trying to build on more and more and more layers of skin instead of kind of really shedding and taking the nutrients and the love and the gratitude and the big themes and, keeping that inside us somewhere. But we just keep building more layers and more layers and more layers and thinking that we're out here when really we want the fresh start of being here again. And this really piggybacks into this card, which I did a whole video on. If y'all saw, it was like a 9-minute YouTube on it already on the mountain, but it also brings us back here to this big collective theme coming up for 2021 about focusing on the foundation. Is so often like the snake with the layers of the skin that we just keep wanting to build and build and build up. We keep seeing ourselves somewhere, thinking we need to be somewhere around here on the mountain, or that we should be here. And what I'm getting is that life is like a range of mountains. It's not just the one mountain, first of all. And we need to keep having those moments of getting back to the foundation and working on the foundational things of the boundaries and the grounding and the self-care and the family foundation and the support of people and the collaborations and all of these things to support us as we climb, and give ourselves a break from being freaking hanging on the side of the mountain and thinking we need to be at this peak level. Does that make sense? Because beautifully, we have the gift of seeing ourselves at the peak. We see our potential. We know we're here for a reason and a purpose. Maybe we haven't figured it out quite yet. A lot of us, though, can see this like greatness inside of us, that we're here to make a difference and change and help. And we hear a lot of talk around us about like, act as if you're already at the freaking top of the mountain. Well, it's not very sustainable, because when you do that, what do you get? You don't have, it's not that authentic. You have imposter syndrome. You don't have the confidence. The rock and mountain below you is crumbling. And maybe you're there for like a spurt of time and you do these like incredible things, but to stay there sustainably at the peak, in one way, it's not possible, because we need to go into the next mountain. And then also, if we don't really focus on the foundation, it's just not sustainable or healthy or protective up there. And what we have been seeing is what I feel like we've been on the middle of the mountain somewhere, and because we've gotten here in some areas, we think this is where we need to be. And so we're afraid of falling or making mistakes. And there's a really far way to fall when we're up here. But we go into the different areas of our life and work on different themes in different areas, like we have in 2020. And we expect ourselves to be somewhere in this middle of the mountain with all these layers of skin built up on our snake, when really it is so freeing and gentle, and really it's very ego based to be always up here, but it is so spirit based to just shed all those layers, shed all that ego, burn it all down, and start at the foundation again, at the beginning, and see 2020 or whatever our goals as a new mountain, instead of expecting ourselves to be at whatever level because of our experiences and our education and our resources and what we've been through, but giving ourselves over and over the opportunity for fresh starts and to be at the beginning. And the more we focus on building up our foundation, the quicker and the easier and the smaller little mountains we're going to keep being able to climb, and the more supportive we're going to be on them. But continuing to shed the skin, go back to the beginning, foundation focus, shed all the skin, and do it again. Because when we look at our career, our relationship, whatever, and the experience of what we've been through, and think, this is where I should be, where I need to be, and we just keep trying to grow up the mountain, it gets us further and further from what's most important, what takes care of ourselves, what's most sustainable is the foundation. I feel like I'm going off on a bunch of tangents, but all this information is like expanding from, or like downloading from the messages I've already received in here. But really, it's just 2021 is foundation focused. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to be creative and abundant and do exciting, amazing things. But the more you're focused on the foundation and let yourself have fresh starts and be at the beginning and shed what's already happened and burn it all down and reemerge as Heather 5.0, as Allie 4.0. So just take your name, the first number of your year, and add a 0.0, and that's who we want to be. Instead of just building, constantly on tour, we need the hiatus. We need the fresh start. We need some new material. And so we just want to reemerge foundation focused. Shedding the expectations. Being at the beginning. And at the beginning is so awesome, because when you're at the beginning of anything, and we're at the beginning of a year, reminder, when you're at the beginning of anything, we don't have all these expectations. It's limitlessness. It's all possibilities. When you're new at something, you're supposed to make mistakes and stumble. You don't expect yourself to be perfect when you're new at something, and it's the beginning. And that's what a new year is. And so let's not continue to do what we've done in the past and hold ourselves to, well, this year, now I'm going to set this unrealistic high freaking expectation for myself, and just give yourself some themes and some intentions that represent you being at the beginning of a journey instead of being somewhere near the freaking top of the mountain that has all these layers of skin. We're sensitive. We don't have all that skin. We don't have the thickest skin. We're empaths. We're sensitive. We reinvent ourselves. We feel everything. So let's honor that. We don't have the thickest skin. And just shed it and be who we are and be vulnerable and sensitive and make mistakes. We all made a lot of mistakes this year, and we just saw and we looked at it through the lens of it's okay and it's beautiful and we learned from it. And we're not solely responsible for how everything unfolds. And that's another kind of toxic spirituality thing that I hope we can let go of. And it's very ego-based. I don't want you to, when something goes wrong, think that you created or manifested bad things. Yes, there are lessons, there are opportunities, and we can look at them as nourishing to the foundation and lessons we needed to have and that we came here for. But there's something toxic in saying that you created or manifested the heavy, hard moments. And yes, it's beautiful to say, oh, this is happening for me. But I feel like it's even more beautiful to say, what is this here to teach me? And then we're not victim blaming or saying we're causing trauma. And we're just here for lessons and teaching and growth and shedding and reemerging and fresh starts. And we get to let go of all the mistakes, and we get to let go of what we didn't do, and we get to let go of other people's expectations for us in our life and our own expectations for us, and just give ourselves a fucking fresh start that comes with the new year, which is really freaking beautiful. And if you want, you can just follow the moon and you can do it 13 more times. And keep doing it and keep having release, because that's what the moon has been teaching us. And my study of this moon this last year has really helped prepare me for this moment. You burn the intentions from the last cycle and release them, and you just get new ones. You shed it and you have the new one. So I felt like I really just wanted to share that with you, these lessons in the mountain. And when we think about our theme, well, we'll wait for this 2021 theme to come up. One more collective thing I want to share before we change a view of our mountain, feel into our 2021 and set those themes. It comes from this. And honestly, I feel like all these cards were on some of your readings. They just kept coming up for everybody. And I just kept getting the message. It's okay to share with the collective. So some of this is going to feel like repeats, but we have the drum, dream and journey. And I saw a lot of music coming up in the side chat over there. Dream and journey. And when I see this image, I see our connectedness. I see us and our family at the beginning and our foundation. I see all those outside factors that influence us, that make us feel so normal and click with us, like the moon and astrological events and what's going on in the planets. Thank God for the sanity that has helped us with recently. It's like, I'm not just going through this, everybody is, and it's okay, we can breathe. But the collectiveness that I see in this image of the dream and journey is that the collaboration, the spiritual team, to call them in. It's so overwhelming and heavy, and there's a lot of worry and drain, and it's very ego-based to try to climb that freaking mountain alone, my friends. So we want to call in the foundation. A big part of the foundation in 2021 is calling in our teams, is collaboration with others. We're seeing the importance of connection and family and friends, right? So we're going to collaborate in 2021, but also with our spiritual team, to be calling them in, because when we don't have to carry the weight or take every freaking hamstring painful climb up the mountain ourselves, and we have some winged beings under our arms that can just like carry us through some of it, it's not so heavy. We're back in our light work, and that's where we're supposed to be. So when I see this, the dream and the journey, and with that, we call in our team. We call in the collaboration. If you're feeling disconnected from your team or from spirit or from others, that's okay. We had a very kind of hermit year in our theme. We had to rest and retreat and look at and have these insightful moments and deal with heavy shit. So that's okay. It's normal to feel disconnected at times. All you have to do is call them back in. Call them in. They want the job. They want to collaborate with you. It feels good for you to help others. Others want to help you too. Ask for and receive the help. And I love it. I see you, family, animals, the sun, the moon, the feminine, the masculine, all the supportive players around you, and the strength in a circle. The healing energy within a circle, the collaboration within a circle. So as now we look forward and we want to dream and journey, I do ask you, and although I don't want you to expect to be there, I want you to be at the freaking beginning in the foundation, but let's see ourselves at the peak and try that on for a minute. And so I invite you to close your eyes and put your hands on your heart, or you may feel more comfortable on your womb space, or a hand on each, whatever feels most nourishing to you, whatever takes you into this core of your connection. And as you feel your hands on your body, you're again connecting into this physical moment, spirit and body together. We're going to let our heart and our intuition lead, and then we're going to get our mind on board. That's the best order to climb up the mountain. Heart first, and then get the mind on board. As you close your eyes and go deep, remembering that grounded energy into Mother Earth, remembering that light of protection around you, the team that you called in, that you are not alone. And you envision the top of the mountain view for yourself. And at the top of the mountain, since you are going to be so foundation focused, it's so focused on collaboration and shedding and reemerging in 2021, your top of the mountain view is not lack, it's not scared, it's not imposter. Your top of the mountain view is authentic, aligned, confident, and shining. And as you use your mind's eye to envision yourself on the top of the mountain, maybe a little superhero pose going on, feet planted firmly, one wing cocked down, keeping you grounded and present and protected, one wing in flight. Visualize yourself shining and beautiful and confident. See your skin, your hair, your clothes. How do you feel up there? Is anyone there with you? What spiritual collaborations are supporting you at the top of the mountain? Are there any animal energies with you? Any scents, herbs, or stones? What color is your aura? And what does that color represent? What light are you shining for yourself and the world? What gifts do you have to express and share? And how do you take care of yourself? And as you look down the mountain, you remember you got here because you really built up and focused on the foundation. What are the supportive things, practices, habits, beliefs, and mindsets that make up the foundation? Again, what are the supportive things, practices, habits, beliefs, and mindsets that make up the foundation? What boundaries will sustain you on your journey? What boundaries will sustain you on your journey? And as you see yourself again and you look closely, you see the scars, the wrinkles, the lines in your skin, your body. And you look down the mountain and you give gratitude and love for all the stumbles, the mistakes, because you see all the collaborative beings and people and lessons and magic that were in the climb. As you tap in deeply, connect with a word or a theme that would be most supportive and encouraging to you for this new year. Remembering there's no pressure for it to be perfect, as themes will choose you and come your way. This is simply your starting point. This theme can still change at any point, but for now, just choose a word, a phrase, a theme to support you. And now see yourself at the foot of the mountain, knowing what the peak feels like, but you can't see it. It's too high up. You don't know how you're going to climb this entire mountain, and that's okay. How could you? You don't know what twists and turns are going to be there. There's no map to the top. There's no one right way. There's so many possibilities and choices to the top. And you see yourself back at the foundation, fully knowing what it feels like at the top, seeing where you are now, your body, your clothes, with love and gentleness and tenderness, and no expectation to be anywhere else but at the base of this mountain, feet on the ground. As you shed, needing to know how to get to the top of the mountain, you shed the mountain that you've been on in 2020. You surrender into this moment, into this theme, with the fresh start at the beginning, no expectations, no pressure. You wrap your arms around yourself in a self-hug. Giving yourself all the gentle, loving compassion you have for the world and to you in this moment. Remembering how bright your heart shines, the light and the gifts that are within you. As you now choose a theme or an intention for the collective for 2021. As you come a little more into your body in this moment, again, pulling your shoulders back, lengthening your spine, feeling your heart center opening. And now you shine that light out into the world. Feeling healing light washing over this past year. Feeling your healing light trickling out, rippling out. Touching those in your family, your community, and beyond and beyond and beyond. Remembering that you're not alone in shining this light. You are linked with your collaborators, both beside and above. Now you feel your circle of light forming around you as your team surrounds you. And you see the light from their hands and their hearts shining at you, supporting you as you shine your light in your own life and in the world. You are strong and empowered, and you are not alone. You are full of love and intention for yourself and the world. May you hold it close and be open to the themes that will emerge. That you will be gentle and compassionate with yourself as you support your foundation and journey of each mountain in the range, remembering to start over again and again, releasing and reemerging, but taking with you your inner light, your strength, your resilience, and your team. And with a breath in together and out. We come back into this moment, into our bodies. Recognizing the energy flowing through us. Any tingles. Recognizing how your own aura is shining in this moment. As we close this space. I thank you so much for being with me with some year-end practices, with a year beginning. Oh my goodness. The year beginning. I got the frog. Practice as well. If you have a couple minutes to write down what came up in that last bit, that's the most important part. To remember your theme, your power, your light, how it feels at the top. And I just really thank you for being here. I've loved this. This is my first time doing this together and hosting a year-end and year beginning. And I really had no idea what I was going to say or how it was going to go. It wasn't really planned out. So I hope you all had fun. I sure did. And yeah, feel free to reach out and let me know what came up for you or how it resonated. I would love to witness you in it, of course, in our Lightworker Rising group. That would be cool if you wanted to share in there your experience, your theme, what's coming up. But I just love this, and I love you all so much, and I thank you. Happy New Year.